Hi, I'm Alex Pault with Open Systems Media and Embedded Computing Design, and I'm here with Olivier Seller, right? I apologize, I always screw up people's last names.
Like that.
But everybody knows Olivier because you're a co-inventor of this whole thing. If it weren't for you, half of this wouldn't be here.
Not this whole thing. With François and Nicolas, we invented the LoRa core technology. We started the market, but then it went much bigger than ourselves, and it's really great to be here. It's fantastic to see how all this grew without us. I mean, that's great.
You provide a good tool and people will use it. It's not like you didn't have to force this down anyone's throats.
Yeah, and but as an engineer, it was really great to eventually have something working. That R&D was used by so many people, which means that the issues, the bugs we created, have been duplicated hundreds of millions of times. But we can live with that. But it's really great to see the success of LoRa and the LoRaWAN ecosystem.
Well, the beautiful part about this whole space is, number one, it uses a band that's no longer used. You know, the old television band. What were they going to do with it anyway? It is a very functional way to use a very useful piece of bandwidth.
Yeah, this unlicensed band, they open many opportunities, and it also opened many different business models, because you can be a network operator, you can be a private network operator, you can be a single person doing something just for yourself. So you have many options, and you can be a collection, a community of individuals or small companies joining together to do this great TTN network.
Well, you know, there are other communities of a similar vein that have grown up around similar solutions. I'm not going to name them because why give them free publicity when you're the man on the spot right now. But the beautiful part about these communities is, as I said before, no one's forcing these solutions down people's throats. They see the solution and they recognize its advantages. What I'm curious about is, what made you make that leap to get to LoRa from sitting at your desk thinking about whatever you were thinking about?
So really the main advantage of LoRa as a physical layer, as a radio technology, is its simplicity. So it's first of all, it's simple to use, which is probably why so many developers have embraced the technology. And it's also simple in the matter of complexity. The complexity is low, so it's low power, low cost, and it runs on really tiny chipsets. So that's what makes it different. And of course, it's long range. Long range didn't exist before. Long range radio, well, you had to use massive power. You had to use towers. You had to use satellites. So we brought long range on the ground with low power. That's what made this technology unique.
Well, the fact that there are space companies here totally supports the long range. You could put something in low orbit and it's still within the functional range of LoRa. That's
really a thrill to me also, the satellite. So with Nico, we've been working on the radio technologies which enable that, which is called LoRa-E. And the satellites, they will have so much capacity, they will be able to collect data from places where there's nothing else. You don't have a chance. It's going to change, the way people do business, or maybe some people's life, or maybe it might save some people's life also. So I'm really super happy that it's going to happen.
Well, the aspect of ubiquitous wireless is very empowering. You know, everything from tracking animals in remote deserts to tracking fish in the ocean to tracking your corn in your fields. You know, it's a very scalable solution.
Yeah, you know, when we started, when all of us started to have cell phones, do you remember the first question we were asking? We were calling, hello, and then the next one was, where are you? Because location, to people, to animals, to things, to objects, to cars, to whatever, is really what you want to have. So that's really the location is the killer application of the IoT. Just like it was the killer application of your phone the first time you hanged it out.
Well, yeah, the ability to communicate from anywhere.
Also, of course, in addition to that.
Now, we don't have a lot of time, but there is something I wanted to touch on, is the whole aspect of how LoRaWAN is an interesting additional card in the deck when we talk about the balance between the cloud and edge computing. You know, LoRaWAN can actually fit in there in an interesting way, and I'd like you to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so LoRaWAN is a long range, so you can connect many things, though it's low data rate. That's a compromise, which is where artificial intelligence is the super fit with that because it's going to be able to compress the information. You don't need to send an entire photograph. You don't need to send an entire spectrogram. You need to send an entire set of monitoring data of an engine. You can just trigger an alarm using the AI and then just send the relevant information that something needs to be done, some maintenance needs to be
Engine
done.
too hot.
Well, our engine is making a strange noise, you know? So that's what
Could be anything.
that's what artificial intelligence is about. You would put a microphone next to the engine, and instead of transmitting the whole audio over the air, you would just listen to it like a magic ear of the artificial intelligence, and then it's going to say, that noise is unusual. There's something going on. Please check. And this is just one byte of information. Super simple. That's really fantastic to combine those two. They really fit well together.
Makes a lot of sense, because if I sent all that telemetry back, it takes up bandwidth, takes time,
Yeah.
cost.
The same can apply to if you want to do to turn on a light on a remote place when you see someone passing by. So you will have a camera or almost static camera recognizes people. So when the people are there, you can transmit all the lights around to turn on, but only for people, not for cats, not for cars.
Well, what if you like your cat? Yeah,
Well,
then you program it can recognize
you
the
can still
cat.
program that. You can program it for your cat at home.
It's fun talking to you with you about this stuff. But unfortunately, we don't have a tremendous amount of time. And before I let you go, I wanted to ask, you have any tips or words for the industry, for our audience? You are one of the gurus of it, and maybe you could leave us with a gem of wisdom.
Yes, so be ready. The best is yet to come. And be patient because the market is going to be tremendous. We are revolutionizing the world. We are changing the world. We are digitalizing the world. That's going to happen. It's going to be huge.
Thank you, Olivier. I really appreciate having you here.
Thank you, Alex.
I'm so proud and pleased to have you here and talk to you about this because, like I said, a lot of this wouldn't be here if you weren't here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.